Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on my channel today. I am back with obviously an Empties video, and I have been alluding to having to move for a couple of months now, and it is still very unclear when exactly this move is going to happen, but I'm expecting to move in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and I just won't have time to film an Empties video before I move. So I'm going to film it now. I have, at the end, I'll show you some products I'm on the verge of finishing but haven't finished yet, but will have finished by the time I move. If you've been with me for a few years, especially during the 13, 14, 15 period, I moved like 3 or 4 times in the span of a year. So I just hate bringing empty bottles with me to a new place. It's just kind of silly, and then I don't also like bringing things that are nearly done. So anyway, if you don't know what an empties video is, I don't know how you got here, but thank you so much for clicking on my video and for joining us today. An empties video is basically when you gather a whole heap of garbage, basically. Things that I finished up over a certain amount of time. In this case, it's been about 4 months. I delayed it a month because I knew I was going to be moving. I'm going to be telling you what I thought of them and basically whether I would repurchase. Some of these will look familiar to you guys if you watched my videos before, and some not. I'm just going to dig right into this big bag. Okay, first product is this Beauty Without Cruelty facial toner. So I got this in a Vitacost haul that I filmed during one of my Vlogmas episodes last year. I still am on the fence about whether we actually need toners. There's so much mixed reporting out there from like dermatologists and skincare experts. I liked this. I didn't really see that much of a difference using it. I would probably repurchase a toner in the future if I really wanted to, but I'm like kind of take it or leave it with toners. This one in particular had a very herbal smell, very clean. Obviously it's like a natural brand and cruelty free. I primarily used it to clean up any like excess oil on my face because I tend to use straight up argan oil to remove waterproof eye makeup. So I would use this on a pad to just like clear it off when I was done. This one's pretty big. This is the Kiss My Face body lotion, olive and aloe, fragrance free. Kiss My Face actually sent this to me to try out and review. I have a video on it. It's not very interesting because it's a fragrance free body lotion. Had a calendula one for sure, and I did not like that one. It was very powdery and it was not moisturizing at all. This one was totally different. This was a classic, like, just a classic thick moisturizer, or rather body lotion. Fragrance free obviously, because I was a little iffy on choosing the wrong scent just because this is a 32 ounce bottle. I used this in the winter and spring months and fall, and it did a really good job of hydrating my skin. And it sunk in pretty quickly, not like rapidly or anything like that, but it didn't stick around that long after I applied it. I would recommend that one if you're looking for a natural brand, and I would think about repurchasing it. This is another Kiss My Face product. This one I've talked about so many times. It's the Kiss My Face Face Factor Sunscreen SPF 30. This is my holy grail SPF that I use every single day, all 4 seasons. It just goes on really well for me. It's natural. I don't know. It doesn't really make me look too greasy. Although this summer I've noticed that I have looked rather shiny, or dewy as I like to call it. So maybe it does make you look a little shiny, but I really like this. I've used this for like 3 or 4 years now. I actually have another bottle of that towards the end because I'm about to be finished with another one. This is the Schmidt's Charcoal and Magnesium Deodorant. If you notice, it has a different lid on it, or top. I actually bought, so this is my 3rd one that I use from Schmidt's. The first one was the bergamot and lime in a jar. It was a paste. And then the second one I bought was the rose and vanilla, which is the top. This is the top of. And then the 3rd one was the charcoal and magnesium. The rose and vanilla I stopped using because it was so incredibly strong, and it was a little bit like musty smelling to me. It smells nice as a deodorant, but like I could smell myself all day, and I was pretty sure everyone else could smell me as well, so I was a little bit embarrassed and I just stopped using it completely. So I got the charcoal one to replace it, and there's a couple things I do want to mention about this charcoal one. First of all, it is a gray color, so this will probably stain your light clothing, at least briefly until you wash it off. And also it will show up as gray on your armpits. I found that this formula, and I'm not sure if it's because of the weather, but I found this one was way stickier and like more melty than the rose and vanilla and the bergamot and lime. The bergamot and lime was a paste to begin with, so I can't really compare, but this one isn't that waxy and it's not as much of a stick. It kind of just like falls apart a little bit when you spread it on. It doesn't like crumble or anything like that. It just smells like a little bit citrusy and a little bit sunscreen-like to me, so it's very like unisex. I would absolutely repurchase that one, but I actually just went and purchased my 4th Schmidt's deodorant, and it's in the scent Jasmine Tea, which I'm really excited about. I was really nervous because of my experience with rose and vanilla, and people were saying online that the Jasmine Tea smells just like jasmine tea, blah blah blah. I never believe those people. I feel like a lot of people don't know what the actual scent is supposed to smell like, but it actually does smell just like jasmine tea because I drink jasmine tea every single day. I know what jasmine tea smells like, and I love jasmine. By the way, speaking of sensitivities, my friend bought the bergamot and lime Schmidt's deodorant in a stick, and she told me that she got discoloration under her armpit and like irritation, and I went online and googled it, and it seems like a lot of people have had that kind of reaction to the Schmidt's brand of deodorant, so that's something to look out for. I personally have never had that problem, and I'm on to my 4th one now, but I don't have any baking soda sensitivities, and baking soda is a component of all of the formulas except for the sensitive skin one, I believe. And maybe not the charcoal one, actually. This is made of charcoal. So yeah, the basic one, the basic line, which bergamot and lime is a part of, contains baking soda, so that might be part of the reason, but there are a lot of people who complain about that online, even with the sensitive skin formula. So that's something to watch out for if you do buy a natural deodorant. Since we're talking about things that smell good, I'm going to dig into all my candles. I managed to finish 4 of these like 4-ounce candles in the past 4 months. Amazing. 3 of them are from Bath & Body Works, including this one. This is the Honeysuckle Bouquet. I have bought this before when it was called Honeysuckle. It smells exactly the same and I love it. It's just like it's a very rich perfume kind of scent, and it reminds me of the Marc Jacobs perfume a little bit. I don't know if it has gardenia in it, but it just has that like really rich, powdery kind of smell to it, but not like baby powder. It kind of reminds me of Michael Kors perfume as well. This is a Voluspa Casa Pacifica. I thought I would really like this one because I really like the Voluspa Laguna. It's one of my favorite Voluspa scents. And the notes on this are somewhat similar. This is California Driftwood, Sea Salt, and Shorebrush. I didn't really care for this one. It's very warm smelling, but it's like very synthetic smelling to me. It's very salty, but also synthetic, so I would not repurchase this. I finished a Sweater Weather 4-ouncer from Bath & Body Works. I had previously bought this scent in the scent portable, and I really liked it, and the candle was no different. It's a very refreshing smell. It kind of smells a little bit like toothpaste, but with something a little bit extra in it, like apple or something. It doesn't list apple as a note, but it says eucalyptus, stringberry, and fresh sage, but I never believe Bath & Body Works' descriptions anyway. I don't think this is just a fall scent. It is very cool, but I feel like this would be a good, like, refreshing scent all year round when you want to, like, clean up the smell of your apartment. Especially, I think, in the kitchen, this is a good one. Or house. This is Plumeria by Bath & Body Works. I don't know how to describe this scent other than there was this one girl in my grade throughout middle and high school who wore this scent from Bath & Body Works at the time because it's a signature classic fragrance from Bath & Body Works. So this kind of reminds me of her / that time of my life. It's definitely a very strong floral. Very like lush smelling. I really like this, but probably because it's nostalgic for me. Would repurchase that. I got some like stuff that I don't even remember having used really because it's been so long. This is a really dirty Laura Mercier Candleglow Soft Luminous Foundation sample in vanilla. I really liked this when I used it. I thought it gave me a really even like tone and also like pretty good coverage, but then I actually filmed something when I wore this, and when I watched it back on camera it looked so powdery / like it was very obvious that I was wearing makeup. So I don't know how much I really like it, but I wouldn't purchase it anyway because I just don't really wear foundation. This is a Trader Joe's packet of the Micellar cleanser and makeup remover towelettes. I thought this was okay. It didn't do that good of a job removing my makeup. I primarily use makeup wipes to remove like excess waterproof makeup or the oil like I mentioned earlier from that area. But I also use this to remove makeup, general makeup on my face, and I felt like I really had to scrub. And I felt it really dried very quickly as well. I would say the best thing about this product was its scent. It was just such a nice scent. I think it was like orange blossomy. Oh, it smells so good. Not even gonna talk about that. Okay, I feel like this is one of the most overrated natural products out there. This is the Weleda Skin Food. It's basically a really thick cream that smells pretty strongly of herbal, medicinal, like lemongrassy kind of smell. I know a lot of people say online that they use this as a facial moisturizer during the winter months when it's very windy. I bought this as a thick hand cream because my hands get very dry and sometimes they even crack in places during the winter months. I really did not like this. It was extremely thick. I thought it was very difficult to spread. When I went out with this, I felt like the fragrance was very strong and I didn't want to offend anyone, so I would avoid using it when I went out, so that kind of defeated part of the purpose of using it. It was just so thick. It's almost like a balm. I would probably not repurchase this ever. And I didn't even think that it did a great job of moisturizing anyway. Don't really remember using this. This is a Tatcha One Step Camellia Cleansing Oil. I think I remember using it once and I thought I could get a second use out of it, but I didn't. I think that's what it was. And I didn't use it enough to be able to tell whether I really liked it or not. But in general, I do really like cleansing oils. I have a bunch of moisturizers, shockingly, because those are one of the things that I have the most trouble using up, and I have so many of them. This is the Ordinary's Natural Moisturizing Factors plus hyaluronic acid. It's a very interesting texture. It comes out like a cream. It spreads almost like a lotion slash gel. It turns a little bit into water as you spread it. Initially, I didn't really like it that much because I thought that the placement of products or the layering of products was causing something to pill, but then after a couple months, or a month or two, I felt that it wasn't the case anymore. So I grew to really like this. They make this now, I think, in a 2-ounce bottle. This was a 1-ounce one, and it's really relatively inexpensive. I got this for like $5 or so, or $5.99 for 1 ounce. I just think it's a really good moisturizer. It's light, easy to spread, it has no fragrance, and I really did feel like it did a good job of hydrating my skin. And I do have normal dry skin at times, so I would repurchase this. But I feel like the Ordinary's had a lot of controversy over the last 6 months or so, with its founder or someone saying weird things on Instagram, and then they ended their contract with Sephora, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get a hold of these products. I'm not sure I would ever order from The Ordinary again, but if I do, I would probably repurchase this one. Another moisturizer is the Origins High Potency Nitamins. My camera died because it's too hot. It happens all the time. This came in a Sephora Beauty Sleep Kit a couple years ago. Finally got around to using it. I didn't like this at first. I still don't think it's really anything special. I wouldn't spend the money on it. But it does smell really nice and it spreads pretty well, but it didn't do anything for me. So not gonna buy that. Here's another Origins product. This is the Plantscription Anti-Aging Power Eye Cream. This was my second ever eye cream. I'm on to my third right now. I like this one better than the first one. The first one I used was the Innisfree Real Olive Eye Cream. That one was nice, but it was quite thick. And what I liked really about this one was how thin and easily spreadable it was, because you don't want to tug too much on your delicate eye area. So I thought this was really good for that, and I felt pretty moisturized in that area after using this. So I would think about purchasing this again, but like I said, I don't have that much experience with eye creams, so maybe there are a lot like this one out there. Finish this Ulla Henriksen Truth Serum. I have a video comparing this to the Drunk Elephant C Firma Vitamin C Serum. I did like this. I probably wouldn't repurchase it just because I do like the Drunk Elephant more, even though it's more expensive. I feel like the Drunk Elephant is more potent of vitamin C. This one is very gel-like. It has a lot of extra ingredients in it, like glycerin and things like that, that help it make it more easy to spread, and it smells like creamsicles, which is definitely better than what the C Firma smells like. The Drunk Elephant one smells like hot dogs a little bit, or burnt pumpkin. But I feel like the Drunk Elephant one does a better job of what a vitamin C serum should be doing. which is like brightening the skin tone, evening it out, and stuff like that. This is Caudalie Vino Perfect Overnight Renewal Cream. This was also in a Sephora Beauty Sleep box. I was expecting to like this a lot because I've heard so many good things about Caudalie, and I just kind of like its image, and I feel like it really aligns with what I feel like I want beauty to be about. But I just didn't really think this was that great. It was very thick, which was nice because I used it in the winter time and the spring. It didn't really do anything for me, and I don't think it really sunk into my skin, and I didn't feel extra moisturized or anything. I did really like the scent though. It was like a soapy, light scent. It was a little bit disappointing for me. I would definitely try other Caudalie products. Another skincare product, this is the Caress Yogurt Instant Soothing Gel. I think I talked about this in my Holy Grail products in my last video. I really like this. They don't make it anymore, but yeah, I really recommend it for calming the skin and for like making the skin tone look more even. I finally finished my Josie Maran 100% Pure Argan Oil. This is the small one that came in the Argan Skin Ritual kit. I got it in 2015. I'll link that video to this one. So I've tried like 3 or 4 different brands of argan oil now, and this one is still my favorite. I feel like this one is lighter than the other ones, not in its moisturization or hydration capabilities, but in its actual texture and density. So it's easier to spread. It doesn't get thick over time like the other ones have. I've used Camden Grey, I've used the Physicians Formula brand, and also the Ordinaries brand, and all of those got thicker and thicker over time. I would probably repurchase it, but I find that this is often in Sephora like skincare kits, so I probably won't ever have to. And I still want to try the Trader Joe's one. Okay, this is the Living Proof Satin This is the Living Proof Satin Hair Serum. Really like this. They don't make this anymore, but I love the way Living Proof products smell. It's just like a light citrusy, unisex, kind of a little bit cologne-y kind of scent. I really liked this when I first started using it, and I believe it didn't contain silicones, but I liked it so much. Yeah, no oils, silicones. This is a Bumble and Bubble Hairdresser's Invisible Oil. I think this contains either parabens or silicones. Either way, it has something in it that I don't really like putting in my hair. Other than that, I really liked it. I thought it was really light. It didn't make my hair look greasy or anything, and I used just the littlest bit to tame this like wild bushy hair that I have here. And so it was a really good little vial for travel too. I kind of finished the Sally Hansen Hard as Nails Hardener. I used this as a base coat. It got really thick, so I'm throwing it out, and I have repurchased. Finished a CoverGirl Supersizer in waterproof. I think I've bought this 3 times now. I used to not ever touch CoverGirl because I had a bad experience with it when I was like in my early 20s or late teens. But this one I really like. I think it's the brush, and also, first of all, it's the waterproof formula. It actually does not budge unless I'm really sweating, and that is a feat for me and my hooded, sweaty eyes. Other than the formula, which I absolutely adore, this brush I think is really great. I like the bristles are a little bit longer than they're appearing on the screen right now, but it's basically like a lash comb, and it's so easy because it's not big and fluffy to go in and like just go like this for individual lashes, and also to wiggle it up. And then they're like varying sizes, these bristles, so you can like pull it all the way through, or you can like actually use some of them to comb it, and I love it. I think it's so easy to use. And then in this bag, the last thing I have is this Ecolips Mango Kiss in Vanilla Honey. I actually bought 2 of these around the same time, I think within a month of one another. Vanilla Honey actually second after I bought the Blood Orange one, which I will show you very soon because I'm almost done with that one. But they're very different textures, or maybe even formulas. The Vanilla Honey is way more melty and slippery on the lips than the Blood Orange, which is like a matte kind of waxier texture. I actually prefer the matte waxy texture over this one, and this one obviously I used up way faster, probably because of its texture. So I wouldn't repurchase the Vanilla Honey, but I will show you the Blood Orange. So I bought this a month before the Vanilla Honey. The thing I have noticed about Ecolips products is that at a certain point when it's about done, sometimes the whole, like whatever's left over will just fall out while you're like uncapping it. It's not happening now because it's like melting, but when it's a little bit firmer, the whole thing just falls out. It happened with the vanilla honey and it happened with this blood orange one. It's got fuzzy things on it now. But the blood orange one smells so good. It's definitely more of a waxy texture and I would absolutely repurchase this one. And the other empty products that are almost empty but not quite. This is a Bath & Body Works shower gel in La Fleur. It's from last spring. It's a very floral scent, so I don't think they came out with it again, but I'm almost done with it. I think I'm gonna stop buying Bath & Body products from Bath & Body Works. Maybe I'll just buy the candles because I think I probably should get into like natural Bath & Body products. I have another Kiss My Face, one used up already and this one's about to be used up. Not much else to say about that. Holy Grail SPF. This is the Trader Joe's Clay Detox Mask in Refresh. It's a very basic clay mask. It smells like, I think, lemongrass. It's fine. I wouldn't repurchase it. And the last one that I'm about to finish up is this Acure Sensitive Facial Cleanser. I got this on, like, in the clearance section at TJ Maxx, as if the whole store weren't a clearance section, but it was really cheap. It was like $4 for 4 ounces. It's a gel texture, very gentle, no scent whatsoever. Since the springtime, I've used this in the mornings. I was inspired to buy this because I used the Youth to the People Kale and something cleanser, which had a really gentle, nice texture. It's like this light green gel. I was like, I really like the way my skin looks with this, so I looked to buy something somewhat similar. This isn't a gel, but it kind of is. It's like a cream gel kind of texture. I would highly recommend it. It does contain alcohol in it though. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It's vegan, sulfate-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free. I would absolutely repurchase this, and this is definitely going to have me looking into more Acure products because I like this so much. Okay, and then I have one more product which I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna chuck from my Project No Buy, which I know this isn't a Project No Buy video, and I will link my last one down below. But it's the Bumble and Bubble Grooming Cream. I've just had this for so long, and I hated it when I first got it back in 2008 because I didn't know how to use it, and then I figured out how to use it in like 2013. And then I did that whole thing where you psychologically trick yourself into thinking, oh, I shouldn't use it because I like it so much. So I used it very sparingly. And the trick I found out, by the way, is to use it in damp hair. Well, anyway, so I've been doing it in damp hair, but I don't know if the formula is different now or the humidity is just so hard to combat. But this isn't doing anything for me other than making my hair look like waxy a little bit and have more flyaways, so I might just throw this out. Alright, so those are all of the products that I used up in the last 4 months. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts on any of the products mentioned. Let me know if you have an empties video and I will check it out as soon as I can. And let me know if you have any videos or video ideas you'd like to see from me. Thanks for watching and for subscribing, and maybe I'll see you from my new apartment next time. Maybe.